Good day everyone, and thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to talk about the real idea that we only see the world in a very, very superficial way. It's easy to get tied up thinking about many kind of almost mind games, almost thought experiments, because we don't understand that our view of the world is so superficial. And this does lead to a whole host of paradoxes, and not least of which, and of course most importantly perhaps, the fact that we exist at all, the fact that I'm me, I popped into existence, you're you, and you popped into existence. And there's no reason for you to be you and me to be me and for us to exist in the first place. That's completely separate from our understanding of the world. Now these apparent mysterious and unsolvable paradoxes aren't that, I guess, they're not that unlikely. They don't seem to be such a difficult thing to come by when you just think about the fact that we're only seeing a very narrow portion of the universe. So we don't really see past or futures at all. I can't see back any particular length of time. We're just seeing the present. We don't see very large or very small states. We don't see high energy states. An entire spectrum of light we don't see. There are potentially other dimensions we can't even see. And we certainly don't see this super high energy states that you get near the Big Bang, or in a star, or a lot of other places. And we also don't see these sort of long stretches of time in the later universe where there won't really be much energy. It'll basically be just an entire lot of probability potentially, but not much energy. And then strange things may happen as well. So given the fact that we have such a superficial view of the world, it makes sense that there should be disjointed gaps in knowledge, or there just should be things that are paradoxes that don't make sense to our current understanding, because we're only seeing these almost like a shattered mirror, just these fragments of pictures. And the way I look at it in some ways is that there's a canvas and a painting. So we're seeing the painting, but we're aware that the painting isn't really what's real. It's a canvas underneath. And to me, the canvas is consciousness and our existence, our very existence at all, whatever generates a Big Bang and the laws of physics themselves. That appears to be the canvas, and the laws of physics and our actual existence appears to be paintings on that canvas in some way. It's not to say the paint and the canvas aren't somehow related, and they're not sort of real, but they're two different types of realities. And again, take the analogy maybe too far, you get to see some aspects of the canvas. And the fact that we're conscious at all, I think, is a property of the canvas, but it's not really a property of all the things we're conscious of. And again, that's something that Sam Harris will talk about. And it's a sort of deeper truth to it, the realization that you don't really know anything that's not directly tied to experience. Like, I don't know what this hand is other than what I'm directly experiencing, and then scientific explanations about it. But unless you actually look at it and understand it and feel what it's like to be a hand, that scientific explanation, that if it's not tied to experience, means absolutely nothing. So there is that moment that we are in this world with this incredible paradox. We don't know why we exist at all. We know that we're mortal, so everything that we understand, in fact, everything that we could understand, because everything that's related to our experience in some way will come to an end as far as we understand. Whatever experiences we have, we can have an idea that these are probably completely different to the current ones that we have within this particular lifetime. So it's an interesting paradox to know that whatever we know about the world is kind of completely enclosed in ignorance. So to kind of put it more bluntly, there's scientific understanding, but it's a scientific understanding of miracles in some way, because everything is kind of miraculous that exists at all. But it's great that we have a scientific and mathematical method to relate the things that exist. But the mere fact they exist in the first place is an apparently unsolvable paradox, which is kind of a big deal. Right. I think that's pretty much it. And thanks for listening. I hope you got something out of it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.